There. Hello.
Hola, hi.
Hello. How are you?
Doing good. Ish. Ish. Just tired this morning.
Oh,
It's early.
yeah. Happy Monday.
Was up late last night on a school night, if you can believe it.
What were you doing so late on a school night?
Just being awake, really trying to adapt to Mexico time and stay up later and do things
Mhm.
later. But that doesn't always work with our early things that we have to do, especially since I'm living in the past and you're in the future.
I am in the future. And I did the opposite. I got to bed at a decent time, but was wide awake at 4 a.m. So, yay.
It was online check-in for our cruise day.
Hmm.
Technically, it was last night. I did it this morning. And that went pretty well.
Good.
So we have our cruise in just over a month out of San Diego, and now we have a boarding group and a port arrival time.
Yay.
I did look up our muster drill station location
Okay.
because
Are we
because
inside or outside?
outside.
Ugh.
So when you do online check-in for a cruise, it tells you some basic information,
Mhm.
including assembly station.
Mhm.
So I Googled the assembly station that we're at, the ship that we're on, and I said muster drill location. And Google said, you will be outside on deck 4, I think. And I'm
Okay.
like,
Well,
I want to know if anyone ever chooses their stateroom based on the muster drill location because some of the muster drills are inside in theaters.
yeah, and you can sit for the whole thing, and that is nice.
Yes. In our case, it's not going to be hot and or rainy.
No, no.
But when you're going out of Florida and
Hmm.
it can be hot and or rainy,
Yeah, and just standing,
yes.
waiting for everybody to make it to where they're supposed to go.
Yeah, because we've been stuck in the sun a couple of times just hanging out there at the muster drill station.
Yeah,
And I'm like, I wonder if I could be more strategic about this.
yeah.
Which muster drill I need here a new chart for us. Which muster drills are inside and have seats?
And seats, and then
Yes.
book your room category based upon that. Seems like
Mhm.
it seems really smart for something that lasts maybe 20 minutes. Entire cruise on that.
Well, it does add to it. It makes it nice.
Yeah.
So, anyway, online check-in complete.
Boom, one step closer.
Yeah. It's always I feel like when we're traveling very frequently, it feels like we're just constantly doing this stuff. We're
Mhm.
constantly like booking reservations, dining, checking in for a crew, like champagne problems for sure. But it becomes a little bit of a part-time job when there's lots of trips to manage. But today we are here to talk about Disney World and the week ahead, as
Yeah.
well as news that has popped up since we last met
Yes,
on Thursday.
which thankfully wasn't a lot.
Well, they have released a lot of news last week.
Mhm. Yeah, they kinda wore us out last week, so the fact that they took it easy, I am not going to complain.
And if there are comments or questions or whatever, we will get to those at the end. But let's start with news. What's first?
First thing, there is a new update for the My Disney Experience app. It's not major changes, but there are some. It's changed a little bit on how the data is presented. It's mainly just aesthetics, though. So they went away from your search results being like a list into a more card format, which kind of makes it feel a little bit more customized. It also makes the images a little bit larger, which is nicer. So if you haven't updated the My Disney Experience app, you won't see it, but after you do, you should see that. And so far, I haven't heard of any like glitches because sometimes updates can cause a glitch, but I haven't heard of any of those.
Yeah, I don't think I have it yet. Where do the cards appear in
After
there?
you do a search,
Okay. All right. Let me try it. Because usually I have it. No, I still have the list. I still have a list. I'll have to see about updating that today.
yeah. So that was the first thing. Next thing kind of goes along with us and our cruise coming in a couple weeks, and that Disney is doing what Disney does best and
Making us cry.
giving us some emotional manipulation because they have released a new ad for Disney Cruise Line. I feel like this, with all the promos that they've been dropping, lots of ads, I think they're really targeting on getting those booking numbers beefed up. And if we didn't already have a couple cruises booked, this might have done it for me.
There I was just watching the Oscars right at the beginning, and it's so Disney heavy
Yeah.
because they own ABC, and so,
Mhm.
but this can you hear the audio? You can?
Mhm.
It's just and they're playing music from Up.
We're gonna go for it.
Yeah.
Like, are you kidding me? They're really targeting that multi-generational travel group.
Yes.
It's just so cute. Where do you think they were when they recorded this, filmed this?
I don't know.
An empty ship. Aw.
Can we go for the walk?
Aw. I'm really
Get
proud
ready
of
for
you
the
for watching
pool?
this on normal speed, not speeding it up.
Nah,
I
I'm just
never
gonna
speed
jump
things
in.
up, Heather.
Is that okay?
That's just me.
See, I thought that was gonna be it right there.
Me too.
Like, look, he's grown. He
He's
still
like,
wants.
remember when I go and my kids were babies?
And then now, and he's back.
Hey, Dad. We couldn't sleep.
Stop.
Make it stop.
Come on.
Thanks, Disney.
Yes, I feel like I'm generally immune to their manipulation because I know that it's coming.
Mhm.
Like, I try to, like, stop myself when I know something's going to be emotional because I'm like, "Nope, nope, 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 nope."
I know
They
better.
they got me. They got me so good. That was so sweet.
Yes, extremely sweet. So, yeah, Disney really hitting it hard on the promos and the ad campaigns, and they've got lots of ships to fill now.
But I think it's sweet to sell that feeling because
Mhm.
so many people sit around and debate, like, I don't know if cruising's for me. I don't know. But it's like, no,
Mhm.
it's the feeling.
Yeah.
It's a different vibe.
Yes. Yeah, and, the whole multi-generational thing. Maybe it's because the older generations, they're all that can afford to to book the trips. So you gotta get them interested in booking for the younger generation, but that's
Well,
another topic.
it's a whole other topic. But I feel like they've really targeted that multi-generational thing with Disney World for a long time
Mhm.
because people that started going to Disney World in the 70s, have memories with it that they want to create with future generations a lot of times. And so they've always done that. I don't know if they've done that with Disney Cruise as much.
Yeah, yes, I don't remember the hard-hitting ads period for Disney
Mm.
Cruise. Just they always seem to have the more fun, this is the kind of stuff you can get, not the ones that are clearly going for the gut punch.
What I like too is that when I open Instagram, my feed served me up the guy who's in charge of the ad.
Mm,
I love that
yeah.
because I was like, yes, I do want to know how you feel about it.
Love it, but also they're always watching.
Well,
Those algorithms are always there.
Mhm. What else?
And other Disney YouTube news. Last week, they released this kind of fun behind the scenes look at building out Epcot's Flower and Garden Festival, which was, as we've discussed before, kind of an interesting year because of all of the weather issues that they had to deal with. So I think it's about 20 minutes long. Britt and I watched it, and
Mhm.
it was fun. It was fun to see all the topiaries behind the scenes, how they place things, uh, them working overnight. It was more, I would say, like, these videos tend to be pretty raw. They're not like heavily edited and whatnot, but they're cohesive and tell stories, and I like that format.
Mhm.
I just want to see how the sausage is made. Show me that stuff, and that's what these ones tend to do. And this one just happens to be about Flower and Garden.
Yes. I sent that to you because I thought that your husband might like it as well
Mhm.
as you, because he is into that stuff.
Yes, he's a landscape architect, so this is right up his alley. He really got a tickle out of that. So
Good.
Um, Next, last week, I think this was released after all of the new stuff was released or it got lost in the mix. I think we mentioned that there was going to be a new photo, but then Disney Photo Pass released the new photo that we're going to get for Buzz Lightyear. That opens up, was it April 8th? And there's a whole new scoring system where you can go over 999,999, and you're going to get to memorialize just how good or bad you are with
Yeah,
this new ride video.
I don't like this
Why?
because I never have a good score. I don't
Well-
need evidence.
Well, I think you do just fine. And I think maybe you'll surprise yourself with the way the game's set up now.
Maybe. Well, I've always been able to blame it on the bad Astro Blasters, and now
Uh-huh.
that's not the case.
Yeah.
But do you see in the photo how they're picking up the Astro Blasters?
Yes.
That's
They're
like it. That's like at Disneyland.
very Disneyland-esque. So
Mhm.
that's fun. And then the final thing, a little bit of news, and this has been slowly happening over the past few days, but the Easter egg displays are starting to make their way out into the resorts. And so typically you'll see them at the Yacht Club, the Beach Club, Grand Floridian. This year there's some at Contemporary too. Each of those areas, they're kind of in charge of what their eggs look like. So you get a big variety. For example, the Contemporary, their chefs, they did a whole Muppets thing and they're adorable. Wish we had pictures, but go out there and look for pictures. People have them out there. Yacht Club is kind of a mix. They've got like Hunchback of Notre Dame, Festival of Fantasy Parade, Pirates of the Caribbean. Beach Club also has some Muppets, but they have the old paying tribute to the old Muppets Vision 3D, which is kind of fun. One themed Up, Who Framed Roger Rabbit, who does not get a lot of love unless you're over in Disneyland. And Grand Floridian, they have theirs tend to be more elegant and less cartoony. They're more like look like something you would buy, like a Fabergé eggy kind of style. And theirs are like Mulan theme, Little Mermaid, Bambi, Cinderella. So all very beautiful.
Nice. It's one of the perks of going this time of year.
Yes. So that's basically it for what has been happening since we last met in regards to news. But we do have some things coming up this week.
We'd like to talk about the week ahead to kind of give a feel for what to expect. There's a couple of things happening.
Yes, we are deep in the Run Disney season. So we have one more Run Disney race, which also means that we're deep in the registering for next season. So tomorrow is the general registration for the big one, the Walt Disney World Marathon weekend. It's the only marathon that takes place at Disney World. Everything else is a half marathon or shorter.
Are you doing this one?
Yes.
And you didn't this year.
Yes, it's the only one I have not done. So I am going to try for it for next year. So there's 4 races, 5K, 10K, half marathon, full marathon. If you do the half and the full, that's the Goofy Challenge. And if you do all 4, that's the Dopey. It's the one that lots of people talk about. It's the one I think I'm going to try before I totally age out. So that's my goal, is to try to get into Dopey tomorrow. We will be, of course, utilizing all of our resources. Have Felicia coming over to to man the command center right next to me with all the computers set up, and we're going to give it a try. But if any of you guys watching are interested in doing it, I just wanted to touch base a little bit on those tips so that you can maximize your chances. So number 1, prep your details tonight. Make sure that you have your Run Disney registration and everything that you can update there is up to date. And then make sure that you're logged well into your Run Disney account before 9:45 a.m. I like to put all of my necessary details, like my credit card number and addresses, especially if you are registering for more than yourself. Have all that saved someplace where you can easily access it to copy and paste. You'll need names, birthdays, emergency contact information, and shirt sizes. And then be ready no later than 15 minutes before. If you log in right when registration opens at 10 a.m. Eastern, you are too late. The waiting room opens up typically sometime between 30 and 15 minutes before the actual registration starts. And when that happens, you get put into a waiting room. And then right when registration opens, right when Disney opens up that registration, everybody gets shuffled and put into a random order. So it does not matter what time you enter the waiting room, but you want to be in the waiting room before they put everybody into line. Use multiple devices if you have access to them. Use your phone, use a computer. I use my desktop and a laptop. I also like to use different browsers because I'm superstitious like that. And we have had instances where one browser worked better than the other. Last registration, we had one browser, and I wish I could remember which one it was, but it didn't automatically refresh. So I would definitely try different browsers, Chrome, Edge, Safari, whatever you need to do.
Incognito and
Yes. Yes. When you're checking out, skip the extras. Don't worry about like getting your merch and whatever. You can go in and update that. You can update your proof of time. Like there's lots of those things you can edit later. Just get the fields filled out. You can go back in and modify your shirt size and all that stuff later. And the most important thing is to remember that once you are in, you have not guaranteed that entry until you hit the button and it says congratulations. Up until that point, you could still lose out because they don't put you in, like they don't take that spot away while you're registering. It's just whoever's fastest and entering in their information. And that is a huge bummer when you think you're going to get it, and when you hit click submit, it's sold out. So those are, I think, my top tips for that.
good luck to everyone.
Mm-hmm.
When you do, I have a question since you're wanting to do Dopey. So when you register for more than one race, you're doing it all as part of one transaction?
Yes. So for Dopey, I could pay for each one individually, and it might even be a little bit less expensive because you don't get the medals, but you don't get the medals. You are not, it's not an official Dopey. You wouldn't get the Dopey medal. You wouldn't get the Goofy Challenge medal. The only way to do that is if you register for the Dopey. So there's limited number of spots for the Dopey, limited number of spots for the Goofy's Challenge, and then there's spots for each individual race as well.
So is it like the cart situation? I'm trying to visualize this because I'm having anxiety. Like, when you book lightning lanes, it's separate transactions depending on the different combos and whatever. So is there a button you click that's like Dopey Challenge?
Yes.
And it adds all to cart.
Yep.
Okay.
And then
that makes it easier.
One transaction. So yeah, definitely makes it easier. Last year, I was looking at the historical sellout times for these. Just like with almost all Run Disney races, the sellouts start at about 45 minutes in for the 5K. We could see that take a little bit longer since they've said that they were adding more 5K spots. Dopey was around 54 minutes, if I remember correctly. Everything was right about an hour. So definitely things will be gone in an hour.
Mm-hmm.
So
all right. Well, good luck to everyone.
yes, may the
We'll be
odds
we'll be
ever in your
live.
favor.
Will we be live during that time?
Yeah, makes me want to like puke a little in my mouth.
Okay.
Just like last time. Maybe last time was good luck.
Yeah, maybe. We'll see. Anyway, tune in tomorrow. Well, Heather has her registration stuff going.
Yes. And then last thing is spring break is here, friends.
Ooh, it's an intense one.
Spring break is here. So between now and when Easter wraps up, around like April 5th is Easter. So for that week after Easter as well, the crowds are going to be pretty intense. And we just had a few tips to talk about on how to make this time as magical as any other time of the year, which it can be.
There are reports about the MCO airport being the busiest it's ever been. I'm
Yes.
like, ever?
Yeah.
Ever?
Yes. And I did throw in a few MCO tips in there as well, because that's a little scary, especially if you don't fly very frequently. So some of our tips for how to handle crowded times of the year. Number 1, strongly consider lightning lanes.
Everywhere.
Yeah, everywhere. But if you only want to do some, Magic Kingdom and Hollywood Studios.
At least.
Mm-hmm.
And then single pass in the other parks for like Flight of Passage and Guardians of the Galaxy, because oh my gosh, those lines.
Yeah, they will not be pleasant. Rope drop and early entry are still a great strategy if you're staying on site, but it's going to be more important than ever if you want that time to actually work for you, no later than 90 minutes before early entry starts. Double check those start times the night before, and no later than 90 minutes do you want to be down at the, not leaving your room, but down at the bus stop waiting for the bus.
Yeah. Don't play around this time of year.
No. And also you could kind of do the reverse strategy as well. Or if you young and have a lot of stamina, you don't have to be young to have stamina, but you could also stay later at night. The end of the night, also that last hour of the day is typically pretty good. As long as you are in line for an attraction before the park officially closes, you're going to get to ride it. Just know that some of the more popular attractions, it isn't unknown for Disney to cut off the line a little bit early. If they know that that line is crazy long, they will go ahead and close it to let other people in it.
Because they want to go home.
Yes, they want to go home too. If you do plan to stay in the park the entire day, consider table service. It's a nice way to, number one, get away from the crowds because there's a max capacity inside of a restaurant, right? They can't have it be shoulder to shoulder inside of a restaurant. So you can get away from the crowds, get some air conditioning. People can bring you your food and your drinks to your table, and it gets you a chance to kind of decompress and get away from the people if you're done peopling for a little while. Dessert parties, it's kind of late in the game to be booking those, but if it's something that you're interested in, use a dining alert system. See if you can snag something, especially lots of people, not lots, but it is not unknown for people to cancel those the night before. So be flexible. You can snag one of those and maybe make fireworks at Magic Kingdom go a little bit easier for you. Pool days are a great way to avoid the crowds as well. But if you want to truly avoid the crowds, reverse your day and start your day at the pool and then go to the park later. Use lightning lanes later in the day. Like if you could stack your lightning lanes, your pre-selections for later in the day, do your single passes, or just go for the nighttime entertainment and ambiance.
However, I had just pulled up the weather and it is unseasonably mild.
Yes, right now.
So, yes, but I mean, the 10-day forecast, it goes out and it's still only like highs in the 70s for the most part. So that's going to be nice, but it might change. It could affect your swimming plans.
Yes. Yeah. Definitely. But you know what? Kids tend to be a little hardier than the adults anyway. And then finally, this one will kind of ruin a lunchtime, but it's don't wait too long to mobile order, because those mobile order spots fill up really fast, and it's nothing worse than being like super hungry at lunch or dinner and realizing that the closest return time is 2 hours out or an hour out, and your only option is to go stand in the standby line at a quick service. I don't know what you call those. Standby versus mobile order. So I would start looking for your lunch stuff by mid-morning, mid-afternoon for dinner, or just be okay with eating at off times of the day, which is fine too. You could just snack and then eat at a weird time. That works.
I've even had routines during busy times where I mobile ordered on the bus on the way to a park in the morning. Like while I'm sitting here for 10 to 20 minutes, let's just go through the app and figure out what we're going to eat just to make sure the spot is secured.
Yeah. Not a bad thing to do. And that's something that's even probably not a bad idea for places like, is it Woody's Lunchbox? Yeah. That one, the return times always get pushed back really fast. So you can mobile order as soon as the app lets you and just save it on there. And if you get there and that time really doesn't work, you can also change the return time. So
absolutely, that's a good tip too.
Yeah, not a huge disadvantage to doing it.
But just remember, all these tips are planning tips. If you are a planner, you have a huge advantage because people going during these busy times of the year are mostly not planners. So they don't know about mobile ordering. They don't know how the lightning lane system works necessarily. So doing all these things, we're telling you to do it because the concept of navigating the parks is always to do the opposite of what a lot of other people are doing. And doing these things is going to be different than most people. So they don't want to get up early on their vacation. They don't know about lightning lanes or they don't know how to do all this stuff. So you have an advantage.
Yes, big advantage. And as you mentioned earlier, the airport MCO they are anticipating it to be extremely busy. And the one thing that's a little bit different about MCO from other airports is that there's so many families that are traveling through there, and lots of first time flyers. So it's not. I don't think it's a bad idea if you're going during some of these busy weeks to push closer to the 3 hour time, especially since we are still in a partial shutdown. TSA is having issues with staffing. 3 hours may seem like an obscene amount of hours to be early, but that's better than missing a flight because you're standing in a line.
Yeah, I mean, we've both been in lines at the airport where people were like about to miss their flight. And in Orlando, when you are leaving, you have to not only go through security, like to scan your, ID and stuff, but then it takes a while sometimes to get through the bags, and then you have to take a monorail over, and then you have to find your gate. So if you're panicked at step one,
Yeah.
there's a few steps ahead of you, and that's stressful. But you can do MCO Reserve. If you don't have TSA PreCheck, you can do MCO Reserve, which is a free thing that they offer to allow you to go through the standby line a little bit faster. So that's really nice. And then also the MCO website has wait times, kind of like Disney rides have wait times, but they have wait times for security. So you can go online and it'll say like 45 minutes is our current security wait time, just to give you an idea of what it looks like.
And this is my regular reminder to check your credit cards, because lots of credit cards offer free subscriptions to things or reimburse you for TSA PreCheck or Clear, and it may be worth it to investigate that. It's a little late to do it for spring break this year, but if you're traveling later this year, it could come in handy, especially around the other busy times of the year, like Veterans Day or Thanksgiving or Christmas.
Conspiracy theory. The chaos at MCO is a big referral program for TSA PreCheck or Clear.
Or Clear. I feel like it's more for Clear. I don't know why, but I feel like it's Clear.
Because they're very aggressive about Clear.
Yes.
They're always trying to sell it. And I'm like, I have TSA PreCheck, quit. I know people have both, but like, I don't care. Like, just leave me alone. I don't need to be sold to while I'm waiting to board my flight.
Yeah, agreed. So that's kind of where we're setting for this week.
All right. Well, we do have some comments. Christina's here. Good morning. Okay. So Jessica says the variation between cruise lines muster drill scenarios is wild. On our last cruise, we just had to report to our station and have our credential card scanned. Best muster ever. Yeah. I mean, DCL, when things were just restarting back in 2021, 2022, they didn't have the regular muster drills. You just showed up.
Yeah, you just went and scanned your card, watched a video.
Yes, exactly. Oh my word, tears on that commercial. Yep. It got a lot of us good last night. So excited for you to play Toy Story Mania at California Adventure. The 70th anniversary stickers mean you should score higher than Beaver level. Okay. Thank you. That is my level every single time. And that's why it's embarrassing and I don't ever win. Okay. Jennifer says, good luck tomorrow morning to anybody registering. But she's also trying for Dopey as well.
Oh, good luck to you too, Jennifer.
Yes. Spring break, my colleague is staying offsite and taking her grandsons for one day to Magic Kingdom. I'm helping her with Lightning Lanes on Sunday morning. I'm so stressed. Yeah.
Yeah. Especially offsite, that 3 days out thing. I would probably definitely see if you can get them to think about using a service with that.
Weight Magic.
Like Weight Magic.
But also, if you happen to have a subscription to it, you could just include your friend underneath that because it allows a bunch of people. And then we've got Dan who says sometimes flying out of Sanford or Tampa can be quicker. Yes. And I've actually, because of the crazy prices, I've been looking at different airport options because I'm like, is it better for us just to rent a car and drive to Tampa? Like, I don't know. But yeah, sometimes. But for spring break travelers, they're probably locked in on their transportation. So
yeah,
good luck to them.
But something to think about next year. Never too early to plan.
Mm-hmm. All right. So I think that's it for today. We'll be back tomorrow to talk about any news that comes up and also watch Heather and see if she gets registered for the Dopey.
No pressure.
Okay. We'll see you tomorrow.
Bye.